How about I start the thing first? Like an idiot. And for real. And I mean it.
Where is this? Damn it. That's not it.
Did you send a post out? Shit, I didn't either. That's all right. That's all right. Don't even worry about it. Because it's not going to be posted for a while anyway, so fuck it. Alrighty. Yes, it is us, Mike and Jay. The Detroit Cast is back for the Tuesday edition of the Detroit Cast. And hey, we've got a man back. Eric joins the show. Welcome back, sir. Nice to have you.
Well, we've got Eric back. He said a man back.
Oh, that's true.
Jesus Christ,
Eric
right off the bat.
baby, woo!
And I'm assuming it's you that blew up the toilet in there, Eric.
Yes. But I don't. Can I hear myself? I can't hear myself.
Unfortunately,
there we
we
go.
can't hear you.
There we go. Yes, that was me, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Jay, you want to go see his handiwork in there real quick?
Is there something still there? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, why would you make sure it's all going?
Oh, wow. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. Yeah, sorry
We had
about
a
that.
rough night last night.
I know. As soon as I walked in, I went, oh, yeah, Eric was hungover.
It was Eric's rough night.
I'm not going to go back in there until Eric cleans up his rough night.
Oh, yeah. I'll go back in there on the break.
He is visibly.
Shaken, yeah,
Yeah.
he's hurting. And we'll hear all about it in a second. We have to get an update from Eric, and we got a lot to get to. The Billboard Awards were last night, and Michael Jackson apparently is back. He performed last night and did a pretty good job for a dead guy. Not bad. The Detroit neighborhood sale is still going on, looking for houses, and if you're looking for a house on the cheap, you might be able to find one. Some interesting stuff there. Flint. Also, yeah, poor Flint. They're taking a beating. Although so are we here in the Metro Detroit area. So, but it's very similar. I mean, the two of them are ridiculously similar in more ways than most people would even realize. Also, a new toy we should probably get to, and child porn making a big name for itself as far as this big USA Today story. Unbelievable, man. Scary, and we'll get into all that later. But we should start with, and also California Chrome too. We'll get into that in a sec. But Eric, welcome back. You made it, and you had your big stand-up gig over the weekend. How did that go?
It actually went really well. That's a great place. I go there, like I said before, because I get the free hotel room and stuff. So, and it's always a really good crowd. And I actually tried kind of some new stuff, and it went over pretty well. I think actually a pretty good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worked out some new material. The crowd was good.
Yeah, real good. There was about 40 people there, which is, if anyone's ever done open mics, that's a good crowd for an open mic.
Yeah, you're lucky if you're talking to anyone besides the wait staff usually.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What's that?
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted me to tell you some kind of
what happened?
Kind of had a weird really weird situation, dude. Though that night, because we get the hotel for free, so me and my buddy went up there, and as I said, I'm hungover, so we went out to the bar, and we came back about probably 2:30 in the morning, and we get off the elevator, in the first room down the hall, not our room, but just the first room down the hall, just door open, TV on, like there's like clothes on the floor, a bunch of empty like liquor bottles, like there's a huge one of those kind of almost half gallons of vodka, empty half gallon of vodka, like clothes on the floor, door wide open, nobody in there. And it, you know what I mean? And I'm kind of like, that's really weird, but it's 2:30. Right. Yeah, like, right. And I'm like, that's kind of weird, but I didn't think about calling anybody really because it's like 2:30 in the morning. I don't know. You know, I'm kind of drunk. I'm just like, I don't know, whatever, I guess. But then I woke up in the morning, and I go to get something from the lobby, and door's still open, nobody in it. The room's the same. TV's still on, nothing going on.
So you started this at 3 in the morning, and now it's the next morning.
Like 8 in the morning today, or Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Monday, sorry.
On Monday, okay. And the door was, I didn't think hotel doors stayed open. I thought they, like, closed shut automatically. I didn't know you could leave one
you
open.
have to put the little tab.
Well, and that's
that metal thing, yeah.
And that's the funny thing, even more funny to me, which is odd to me, is that, you know, a lot of people do that where you put that tab, like, oh, I'm going to go get ice or something. You do that so you don't have the key or whatever. And that was, like, swung like someone had done that, but the door was open. Like, to me, almost if someone maybe had got in and knew they wouldn't be able to get back in because they didn't have a key or something. And so finally I told my buddy, like, we got to say something. We got to tell somebody at least. And when we're walking back, we're heading to the lobby, one more time, kind of go in the room. I'm like, hey, hello, you know, is anyone in here?
You went into the room?
No, yeah. Nobody's in, no one answers, so I stepped in, and it was so creepy. It was one of the creepiest feelings I've ever had. Just there's nobody in there. Not like clothes on the floor, like someone left in a hurry, you know what I mean? But like, how could you, even if you had the most important reason to go, you're still gonna turn off the TV or shut the door and stuff.
Yeah, it's a hotel.
Well, okay, well,
turn off the TV, really?
Well, okay, well, you know what I mean.
Wait,
you don't even flush toilets.
Well,
wait, gunman, you know, slow down. I know I'm running from you.
Well, no. I meant like maybe if you had a job thing, like maybe you had a job and your boss called you and said, hey, I need you to get on a plane or something.
Still into the backstory.
Okay,
So,
yeah, okay.
But I'm just saying, anyway, so the point is, though, I look past the bed, and like,
Oh, no.
I swear to God, dude, I don't know, but like the cover from the bed was like, something was in it. It was like
Like a body?
it looked like that to me, to be honest with you, dude.
Who did
Like,
you kill, dude?
I swear to God. I mean, I'm not trying, and I
Did you
almost,
touch anything inside?
no, I didn't.
So I went and turned off the TV.
Yeah.
No.
Touch the body a little bit.
No.
I got some blood on my hands. You want to see it?
And the thing is, I tend to maybe be a little more overdramatic. I know I kind of get a little weird, but my one buddy that was with me is not that kind of person. Like, he's somebody who, he just doesn't. He doesn't, like, look for things. And I walked in and I saw this. What I thought was, that's what it looked like. Maybe it wasn't, but that's what it looked like to me. And I said, dude, check this out right now.
Did you call down or say something on the way out?
We said something at the desk on the way out. I was like, there's really a suspicious situation, like, in this room. Like, the door's been open all night. No one's there. The TV's on.
And then you just left?
Yeah.
Like, I would have had to stay and, like, figure out what it was.
Well, my friend had to get going because he had to work in the morning.
Well, that's a him problem.
I know.
I have to stay there. Who drove?
Me.
Oh, yeah. No, he's still
He's
there.
missing work.
Yeah, he's missing work, clearly. I mean, how many times are you going to see a dead body in a hotel?
Dude, I'm not saying that it was, but I will say that's what my initial thought was. And I asked him, I said, dude, what do you think? Like, come look at this. And he goes, and he was just like, oh, shit, dude. And he just walked away. Like, it was creepy, dude. Like, I'm not.
So you still don't know?
I don't know anything about it.
Well,
Like,
let's call him.
you want? We
yeah,
could.
fuck yeah. Let's call him and ask him.
Yeah, it was really weird.
If you find a dead body, we need to know if you actually found a dead body. Because I want to know, too, if it was just a heap of blankets and it was really nothing at all. You're just totally
Well, even if it's not a dead body, though, dude, it's still something suspicious. Like, it's not a normal situation for a door to be open like that all night, TV on, clothes. Like, people didn't pack anything. You know what I mean? It looked like someone.
I go back to Mike's original thought. How was that door open? You never see a hotel door like, wide open. They have something jammed underneath it.
No, I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know. The door was, all I know is it was wide open. It was wide open all night.
I suppose it could just be a hotel for whatever reason. They don't have those, but I've never seen one. Any hotel I've ever been in, the door automatically closes. Yeah, it's a safety thing.
It was the creepiest feeling I've ever had in my life being in that room. Yeah, it's right there.
All right, hold it up there for me, and I'll call it.
It was, I don't know. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, I'm not saying it was, but it was definitely something suspicious. Like, it's not, someone wouldn't just leave a hotel room. I mean, a lot of alcohol in the room, empty, clothes just on the floor. Yeah.
What's the name of this one? Erica, hi. This is Mike and Jay calling from the Detroit cast, and a friend of ours stayed at your hotel over the weekend, and we just had a couple questions. It was kind of an odd situation when he left things yesterday. I just wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Is that a bet?
What's that?
I don't know. Did she hang up on us?
It kind of got a little crackly, so I wasn't sure if it was.
I thought she was typing.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
you
was.
might.
She was. But
But
she
then-
better not have hung up on us.
It didn't feel like a hang up to me. It felt like she started to say something and then we lost her.
Who has a busy signal?
I know.
Busy signals, doors open. What hotel did you
First
stay
that
at?
stay open.
Dead bodies?
Alleged dead bodies. I was very clear that I say alleged.
Dude, you sure you weren't at someone's house?
No.
Write down the name of this place.
It's here. I got one over here.
They do not want to talk to us. They must know who you are.
What? That's so weird.
Well, remind me. We'll call them back
Okay.
in a little bit. We'll give them 15 minutes to forget all about us, and then we'll call them back.
Okay.
But don't let me forget,
I won't.
because I definitely want to find
No.
out if there was something
Absolutely.
bad going on.
I want to find out. It was the weirdest thing I've been. To me, it was the weirdest thing I've ever been a part of. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, did you when we were here yesterday, Jay? We were all over California Chrome.
Mm-hmm.
We won the first two parts of the
Triple Crown.
Triple Crown, the impossible to win Triple Crown. And should we explain to people how we're doing this podcast right now, so that we don't sound like total fucking morons and like totally out of
You mean like when I just slipped up a second ago, or?
that microphone looks like it's gonna drop, dude. The way we've been doing this, we're trying anyways, and we haven't settled on anything necessarily yet. But what we wanted to do was have something available first thing in the morning, so that if people wanted to use us as their morning show, they can. The show's there at 5 in the morning or earlier. Sometimes it's even there earlier, but we guarantee that it'll be there by 5 in the morning, Monday through Friday. Well, in order to make that work, since none of us are getting up at 5 in the morning to do a live show, we're taping them late the day before. So Sunday we got here, Sunday late afternoon, early evening, and banged out a show that we then opened up for consumption first thing Monday morning. Well, when we did the show, the nasal strip story hadn't hit, and literally 2 hours after Jay left my house, that was like breaking news all over the news, and it was like, motherfucker, are you shitting me?
Right, the story that California Chrome was wearing breathe rights, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's for it. As athletes do. They'll wear these breathe rights to open up the nasal passage.
Of course, of course.
And we, of course, talked at length about the Triple Crown, what are the chances he wins it, and we missed out on the story about the breathe rights, so that's what we want to follow up on.
And, well, the problem is people are listening to that Monday cast on Monday morning, but we taped it Sunday evening so that it could be there for you Monday morning. So this is the problem that we potentially will run into, is if there's breaking news or something happens late overnight, we're going to miss the ball on it and sound really kind of out of touch, I fear.
Tell the listeners how committed you are, though. What was your thought?
Well, I was so pissed when that story broke last night. I swear to God, I almost came down, recorded a 10-minute break on my own, and then edited into the front of that, into the front of the podcast, so that we sounded like we knew what the fuck was going on. Jay and I were texting each other last night like, this is bullshit. Come on. You know, but the first podcast, and we're already missing the front end of a story like that.
Would it have been before the intro or before the story? Where would you place it?
I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Like, were you going to place that, then the start of the
It was
show?
going to be really half-assed and choppy. It was going to sound bad, but it was going to be in there, and you would have heard about the.
But then they're like,
It was
what
gonna
about
be
the
a
fact?
movie.
Yeah, totally badly dubbed movie too.
But and then, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I don't understand. Like, maybe what about the fact that then you would be talking for like 10 minutes, straight just you, and then Jay just started
No.
talking about the story like
I'm pretty good at editing audio. I've done it for a long, long time.
So you're
I
gonna
just
take
grabbed
this
a couple of clips of Jay going, yeah. And he would have really been into it. He would have really given me the floor and let me do my thing. Yeah, you would have agreed. You would have disagreed with nothing I had to say.
I wish you
Absolutely nothing.
should have done
But-
that.
This is scary. This is scary thought.
You really would have given me the floor too. I really respect that about you, Jay. That you really would have turned things over to me and really let me get my opinion out there for a good 5-10 minutes, uninterrupted at all. Would have been
But
nice.
then the thing that's probably stopped you, I don't want to speak for you, but it probably stopped you when you thought, it's just a horse. I'm not going to go in and edit something for 4 hours just to get a horse story right.
You're totally correct. It was like, that sounds like something I could do it. I really could.
It's not
But-
like 9/11 happened.
Yeah, it's not like 9/11, and I was just lazy at that point. But the worst part of it all is I haven't been to bed yet.
Oh, God.
I could not sleep last night. This happens to me once or twice a year where I get in my own head and start thinking about things. Dude, I laid in bed for 4 hours last night. Finally I got pissed off and got myself up at 5 in the morning and went and got the papers.
Hey,
And,
let me ask you this then.
oh,
You know where this is going.
no.
Why the hell didn't you post the Facebook post at 5 a.m. this
Dude,
morning, then, you bastard?
Because I was trying to
You son of
sleep.
a bitch.
I was trying to sleep. I didn't even think about it, but I figured by the time, because I did think about that actually, but by the time you would have gotten my text, you would have been waking up to your alarm is when you would have seen that text. Otherwise, I would have been the prick that woke you up at 3 in the morning.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So it was kind of a lose-lose. I couldn't win, so I figured I'd leave you out of it. Let you do your thing. Let you be happy about your little post.
He texted me the other day at like 6 in the morning, and then afterwards said, "Oh, I hope you don't have text alert on your phone. I didn't wake you up."
No, I said I hope you do.
Oh.
I hope you did wake up. You got that all wrong. Eric.
Well,
Well, here's the bottom line, Eric. Just to let you know, I do get up early to go to work,
Oh, gotcha.
so
Yeah.
it's not that big of a problem. To
right.
Release Facebook.
Gotcha.
Well, back to our horse story. So we apologize if we sound a little out of touch from time to time, but that's why we're working so goddamn hard that occasionally we're going to drop the ball on something, and of course it was California Chrome. But we do have. I still think it's ridiculous, and I guess from where we're sitting now, the story's been resolved. And I was going to come on this morning or this afternoon and say there is no friggin' way that sanction of people is going to say, nope, he can't go with the nasal strip. There's no way.
And there was no way that the owners weren't going to let the horse run without it.
Well, they were acting like they would.
Yeah, they were acting like it because they had the leverage at that point, saying, okay, assholes,
Yeah.
governing body, you don't want to see a triple crown attempt here?
Yeah.
Really? It hasn't happened since 1978? Fine.
And it's
We're not running.
And the fact is, it's legal in every state but New York. Like, what is the hang-up with the nasal strip anyways?
Yeah.
And who is this pussy horse? Have you ever seen the nostrils on a horse? They're humongous. Why would they need nasal strips? What is a breathe rate
I've
going to
always
do?
wondered about those breathe rates. Obviously, there has to be something to them, or people wouldn't.
Yeah, they are. There is, but we've got human noses.
Yeah.
They work on a human. Look at that nose and look at those nostrils.
Yeah, the equine nostrils
Yeah.
there are
What?
considerable.
Equine.
I don't know what that means.
Horse.
Oh,
Come on, Eric.
Okay, never mind. I'm not-
What do you think it means?
Big, I guess.
Canine.
Equestrian. Have you heard?
Oh, right.
Canine is dog.
Gotcha.
Equestrian.
I get it. Okay, I
All
just sorry I didn't know what equine meant.
Yeah, we missed it. But yeah, they were acting like, yeah, he won't go, he won't run. But there's no way. Could you imagine what that would do to the Belmont?
Yeah.
If you got a horse that wins the Preakness and the Kentucky, and then he's gonna pull out.
No, that's
the
why the
Belmont.
owners were holding all the cards and said, then we're not running without it.
Yeah.
And they forced their hand. Other
Well-
side had to say, okay.
Well, remember the last time they had the possible Triple Crown was in 2012. I knew it had just happened not that long ago, and that was I'll Have Another. He was the last one. He won the Derby and the Preakness in 2012. Also wore the nasal strips. I didn't know horses were wearing these breathe right nasal strips. This
Yeah.
is amazing to me. I didn't know they coughed either.
I discovered that last week.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I wonder if this is connected to the cough.
Well, here's
Or
the weird
he
thing.
was wearing it before.
Perhaps. Yeah, he's been wearing them for 6 straight
Okay.
races. He's
Okay.
been wearing them for a while. He's 6-0 with them. So the thing is, the people that made the decision at the Belmont said in 2012 that no, he couldn't wear them.
Hmm.
So they said no, you can't wear them, and he was wearing all the time. He had a leg injury the day before the race and pulled out, and never ended up never ended up running for that Triple Crown. And I totally remember that. It was like, what? I mean, can you imagine Isaiah playing on a bum ankle? Jordan, like, oh, I'm going to sit this one out. I can't get my breathe right to sit right. I'm going to take Game 7 off.
Since we're comparing athletes, yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. They're all athletes, right? But think of any other athlete you've ever heard of sitting out games. Like, that's your World Series Game 7. That's the Super Bowl. You're talking about the Triple Crown, the final leg of the Triple Crown. You're going to sit this one out because you can't wear your nasal strip.
That's crazy.
You can't get your nasal strip right. So I'm out. Screw you guys. I'm out. What?
Yeah, I didn't know the history of that. I'll have another actually doing that or possibly pulling the hurt leg issue.
Yeah.
But, man, I wouldn't have thought for a second that these owners wouldn't have ran him.
Yeah.
Had they upheld the thing and said, no nasal strip.
Well,
maybe it is a big deal. Maybe it's...
Well, they acted like the trainer acted like he said it was going to be up to the owners, Perry Martin, but he said Perry Martin might not run if they say you can't run with the nasal strip. He's very funny about things like that. Martin and his family did not attend the Preakness. This is new too. I didn't hear this. Martin, what did we hear? Because he had work stuff, obligations going on in California, right?
Yeah,
with his business.
Two guys who own Dumbass LLC or whatever.
Exactly. Martin and his family did not attend the Preakness. Coburn said it was because Martin was upset with the hospitality in Kentucky during the Derby. They weren't very hospitable to me, so I'm not going. Your horse has won $2.3 million over the last 6 months.
A little perspective, my man.
Come on, dude.
Wow.
So a guy that would not go to that because he didn't think they were. What does one have to do with the other? He's not going to go to the Preakness because they weren't hospitable in Kentucky.
Totally different.
The hell does? Yeah, who cares? And I bet they were hospitable as shit, anyways.
Right.
I mean, honestly, why wouldn't they be?
How many other horses are wearing these things?
Good question. I don't know, but the last two that could go for the Triple Crown are wearing them.
Yeah.
You would think, though, if they had said no, he can't wear it, I would think all the other horses would go, bullshit, we're putting them on all our horses, and we're all going to wear them, and he's going to. Because for the good of the sport, you need the guy who's up for the Triple Crown chance to race. I mean, could you imagine the amount of TVs? Would you care to watch that race if it wasn't the Triple Crown? I wouldn't.
No, but the winning purse is going to be the same, right? So I doubt there's that much working together, spirit of camaraderie among the owners. I bet every one of them desperately wants to win every race. I don't think any of them are looking at it like, well,
really
good for the sport. I don't think so.
Dude, they get 1/5 the audience.
True.
They probably would. They'd probably still do well in-house.
Mm-hmm.
The people would still come out to the event. It's still an event. But if he wasn't running in that thing...
I think these horses, though, are such short-lived commodities that they've got to win whenever they can win, so that horse then can be put out to sire and you can make money off that.
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody has any incentive to help another horse or stand behind another horse.
Yeah.
If you own one of the horses in that race, you absolutely want that horse to win. You do not want this other horse to win the Triple Crown. You don't give a shit.
Maybe that's true. I don't know. But see, I don't know, dude. I so compare it to other sports where that is important, and you would want, just for the good of the sport, you'd want as big an audience as you could get. That's your biggest race of the year. I don't know. Maybe these are different athletes. Clearly, if they're willing to pull out over a nasal strip, I mean, there's not another athlete on the planet who would do that. No. There just isn't.
Anybody talk to Chrome about this? And what's Chrome say about this?
Well, Chrome clearly wants the nasal strip. He was willing to back out. He didn't seem to give a shit at all.
I'd love to know how the hell this even helps. Again, you watch these guys with these things, and you wonder if it's just like a superstition kind of. Well, I wore it all season. I had a great season, so I keep wearing it. You see less and less football players wearing them. Remember when they first came out, everybody had them?
Everybody did. Well,
I mean,
I've worn them.
Such a minute difference.
Have you ever worn them?
No.
Never. I have. And you actually can feel a difference. You know, if you're breathing through your nose, they're good for people trying to sleep that have apnea or whatever, trouble breathing, and I have all kinds of sinus problems all the time. So I've tried them over the years, and they feel a subtle thing. I wouldn't think it's that big a deal to a horse with his whole face is nose. Like, massive.
That is a horse's face.
Horse's
It's all
face.
snout.
Yeah, it's all snout. He's just one giant nose and nostrils. Like, what? You seen the size of that damn nasal strip?
Yeah.
They're
right.
huge.
Right.
They're humongous. But yeah, apparently they open him up and allow him to breathe, and they're worried because this is the problem with this. What makes this track so hard is because of how long it is.
Right.
Get out of here, you.
It's probably a superstitious thing at this point. You know, the owners are, well, he's always worn one. We don't know how he would react without it. He'd probably be just fine, but good for him. He got his way.
Yeah, I guess.
Rich guys got their way.
Let's see. The 3-year-old has won 6 consecutive races wearing these strips designed to open up his air passages. His trainer said if the California can't wear them, he might not run the race. Okay, I thought there was more to that. But anyway, yeah. Open up the nasal passages, whatever. But it doesn't matter anyway. It's a moot point. I don't know why they would have said no in 2012. I'd be pissed if I was that team.
If you'll have another. Wait a second.
In New York, it's time to just drop that silly, stupid rule anyways.
Right.
Let these athletes wear what they need. Clearly. If Chrome feels like that makes him a faster horse, let him wear it. It's not that big a deal.
Chrome.
Chrome. Cut it out, Chrome. Should we? Well, let's move on. Did you see any of the award show last night?
No, I've just seen still pictures.
Yeah.
MJ.
I can't tell if it was cool or just really weird and creepy.
Well, they've done this before. You know, this isn't the first hologram performance.
I don't think this was hologram, though. I think it was something different.
Huh.
Yeah, I know that sounds silly. No.
It was him?
Well,
it was him?
I think it was him.
Marionette style?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
No, I think it was a completely different technology. They're being really hush-hush about it. They won't say, but what they did say is it was not the same technology as they used for Tupac a few years ago. And
who else has done it? Nat King Cole?
With his daughter. Yeah. Yep, which is cool. And it looks weird, like the mouth is off when he's singing. But I guess it's cool. Like, do you know how they do that?
No idea.
Well, it's like for the Tupac one, like he was on stage with Snoop. For that, Snoop came out and was performing with him, but Snoop had to be very careful about where he walked on that stage because they've got it's like a mirror that's angled and it's shooting an image off that. So if he had he could have stumbled into that thing and shattered Tupac, which would have been. Could you imagine killing Tupac again? That would not be good. So I don't think this was like that. These guys were dancing right next to him and all around him. Like, you couldn't have done that with Tupac the way that.
So it's some sort of different projection technology.
Yeah, and I think it might not have been him. Like, it might have been his face, but that might not have been his body with the dance moves. I'm serious.
Can't do that.
I know, dude. I'm just telling you, I've heard some things, and I'm not so sure that it was actually images of Michael dancing. But why don't we play a minute of it? Do you pull it up there, Eric?
Yeah.
Shake the mouse. It's not gonna bite you.
I know. You want just to start it whenever, or?
Yeah. Do you have it up?
Yeah. This is it in the beginning now. So if you want me to go to the middle, I don't know.
Now, does the audience know what's coming at this point? Do they know that we're in for an MJ performance?
They did announce it that he was going to be performing there. Dude, people are crying in the audience. Like, they're getting emotional. Standing ovation for a hologram. Nice. He's not there for real. Who are you clapping to? Even in death, his performances are so over the top.
That's weird, man.
Isn't that kind of creepy?
Yeah, his mouth's off.
You can tell the mouth is off a little bit.
Yeah. But you're right. It's a hell of a lot better than a hologram.
Mm-hmm. Like the Tupac one looked like he was floating on the stage. His feet almost looked like they were on the ground, but not really. This one, he looks like he's actually on the ground because it's someone else's legs. Like if that was the Tupac one, those guys would be breaking the glass behind him, you know?
Yeah, they're right up next to him.
Yeah.
Walking through him.
Mm-hmm. But they're very hush-hush about how they did this. Same guys that worked on Avatar worked on this technology. It's pretty cool. It is a little creepy, cool. But kind of cool.
I wonder what MJ would think of it, you know?
I don't know. It's a good question. I guarantee you he wouldn't like the fact that his family's selling him out every 15 days with a new project. But, I mean, you totally understand now why Michael didn't want to do any of the bullshit they wanted to do. They always had a new tour they wanted him involved with, and he wouldn't do anything. It was very rare that he did anything with him. And now you see why. He's gone a year, and they're like, they've rifled through every catalog he's ever had and reissued it. And
yeah, it's pretty close to, if you were watching this just not knowing the guy was dead,
yeah,
you'd be thinking, it looks a little bit odd, but probably wouldn't occur to you that it's not a person.
Look at that, he's moonwalking. But I think this performance was taken like right out of one of his tours from like '91 or something.
Yeah, it looks like the black or white kind of style, you know.
Yeah,
or that if you black or white.
History,
you know,
or
his
story or whatever.
What he's wearing, his hairstyle.
Yeah,
at that time.
Totally. The bad era, or
a little bit after bad.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not quite so bad here. A little less bad. But it's pretty cool though. I mean, for what it is.
Yeah, and look at him. He's on like stairs. He walks up a stair.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well,
definitely worth taking a look at it if you haven't seen
the mouth there looks bad.
Yeah.
Now look at the crowd, like standing ovation, and people are wiping their eyes. And,
it's a fake crowd.
Yeah, they're the hologram.
People are wiping their eyes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they cut away there. And then there was just one other thing that was there. There were some pretty good performances. Like Katy Perry was kind of cool. She did some birthday song and brought some girl up on stage and was floating around the crowd, and it was pretty cool if you get into that stuff. Some of the Imagine Dragons was pretty good. The other one I thought was funny though was Kendall Jenner. Bruce Jenner. I hate this family. I can't stand this family.
The fact that we know who she is.
I don't. If I wasn't reading her name, I wouldn't be able to pick her
out of a lineup. No, but I know the name, Kendall Jenner.
Yep. And the only reason I'm playing it is because she screwed up.
Sweet.
And so it was worth watching. Yeah. Sorry for the quality.
Oh my God! She didn't even say their name.
No, she almost said One Direction.
That was a. Oh shit! You just introduced someone without saying their name.
Yeah. You
don't even know who you're introducing?
Apparently not. She was supposed to introduce 5 Seconds of Summer, some new band, I guess.
She said something before she went to the pseudo introduction. She said something about they're only going to be bigger this summer or something. Yeah. Did she kind of skip a line or meld lines?
She must have.
She got the word summer in there.
Yeah, and I think there was another word in there, like another number, like a numerical thing besides just the 5.
Okay.
So it might have been on the teleprompter and threw her off. It sounds like, she's reading, almost combining 2 sentences or something, and then that threw her off, and the teleprompter kept going, and then she's got nothing, and she doesn't know who she's talking about, so it's like, they're getting huge. Go!
That's what happens when you're famous for being famous.
Yeah, yeah. Play it again, Eric. Let's watch it. It's quick.
Those folding chairs.
Yeah.
It's gone now.
When she,
Whoa!
Yeah, the prompter's gone. She can't recover at that point. She doesn't know who she's introducing, so
Has
how
no
could she
idea.
possibly succeed?
Yeah.
when they, oh, maybe that's not.
She could have thrown a name out there, and she would have had a 1 in a billion shot. She might as well. She should have just thrown a name out there. Here's Nirvana.
Think about what went into this. Then she shows up, and they go, "Yeah, just go out there and read
the prompter.
Just read it."
Okay, I got it. Got it. What do you think I am, retarded? I got it.
Away.
Ah, you guys, get away from me.
I can read. Oh my god.
I know how to read. Beat it.
That's what I was gonna say. Wouldn't she know this ahead of time? Like how?
At the very least, the
So-
band you're introducing. At the very least,
Like it's a live performance, and you're just gonna go up there and have.
That's what happened, though. That had to have been what happened. She just shows up and I got this. I got this.
I'm on the
Totally,
Kardashians.
she must have, right? I don't know if they would have had. They probably would have had rehearsals or something. I don't know if she would have even gone. You want to pull up Travolta? Remember Travolta?
Travolta totally screwed up.
It was very Travolta-esque.
But that was worse because he at least got the name out and just mispronounced it, right?
Yeah. Where was Travolta?
Teresa.
Travolta. Yeah, it was the last. It was the John Travolta awards.
Oh yeah. What
Was
was
it the
that?
Oscars? I thought he was introing
I think he was introing a music act.
awards.
Oscars 2014.
Yeah, screw up or fail.
Yeah.
Went down there.
Oh shit.
Jesus Christ. See it?
Yeah.
I hope that's.
Yeah, I think this is it.
Yeah, Oscars, right?
Right,
He's
yeah.
introducing a music act.
Yeah. This is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, the Pulp Fiction music.
God, it's weird.
Fake!
See, at least he knew what he was supposed to
I don't-
say.
did he?
And he just flubbed it.
What was he? I don't even know who
I
he was
don't
trying
know
to
who
intro
was
there.
either.
Seriously. Who was he trying to say there, Eric?
I
Do you
don't.
remember?
I don't remember at all. I remember watching it, but I don't remember who he was trying to.
I've been a huge fan of for years. And so I knew who he was.
Maybe this is who it makes it.
Yeah,
mess up.
yeah. You heard him say it. We all heard him say it.
Yeah.
Seriously, there's no bigger fan than me. There really isn't, Jay. Laugh all you want, but is one of my all-time favorites. It really is. If you get into you won't be able to stop.
Those two are not even comparable. What's her name? Jenner was way worse.
You think
I mean,
so?
she didn't even know the
Yeah.
name, dude. He flubbed the name.
Yeah, he got it right. She totally flubbed hers. All right.
God, that's awesome.
Somebody else who flubbed things, perhaps. How's that for a segue? Have you seen this? And I wanted to ask you because anytime I read Supreme Court, I'm like, oh, Jay knows courts. I've been to court before, but for the wrong reasons. You've actually been for the right reasons. This this guy was handcuffed, but not obeying police commands. I figure if you're handcuffed, you've won. You've got what can he really do? But it would be really hard to
Bull rush somebody
contain yourself.
with handcuffs on.
Yeah, that's true. 21-year-old kid probably got. Well, at 21, yeah, you can be all the energy in the world.
Do you remember when I lived with Merck at Michigan State,
Mhm.
Cedar Village? We had a little brother of a friend who used to come over quite a lot, Shawnee.
Shawnee, yeah, I know
Shawnee.
Shawn. Oh yeah, Sean listens.
Oh, does he? Okay, hey,
Yeah.
Shawnee. So Shawnee pissed off Merck somehow, really bad. And Merck's like, I'm going to kick your ass. Right, dude, it's not even fair. You know, we're talking about a little
Yeah,
110-pound
Shawnee, yeah.
kid. You'll kill this kid. And so, like, how can we make this fair? We still want, Merck to be able to kick his ass if he wants to.
Right. Yeah.
But it's got to be fair.
No
Yeah, we can't just have him just knock the kid out. So we taped Merck's hands behind his back.
Only in college, dude. Only in college.
Merck still kicked his ass.
No way.
What? By bum rushing the kid.
Yeah.
He just pulled him, man. He just took him down.
Would Shawnee admit this today?
Yeah.
He would.
Oh, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Merck, so I guess that's the danger. I don't know. You got a guy handcuffed, and they're worried about him fleeing or bum rushing you.
I guess.
Don't know. I don't. But your point is, how do you tase a guy continually after he's handcuffed?
Well, they said he was not obeying. He was still not obeying, so that's when they hit him with 50,000 watts from a taser, and 7 more times. Tased him 7 more times. Dragged this guy over the next 14 minutes. A cop used his taser on Baron Pikes at least 7 more times. Pikes began showing signs of distress after officers dragged him into the police station in Louisiana. A little over an hour later, he was pronounced dead.
Yeah, that's
dude.
You're so sympathetic to cops and the fact that they're doing a tough job and they're dealing with some absolute animals.
Dude, I give them so much leeway. I just do because it would be so hard to deal with that.
Your life is on the line every day.
Every day.
But this one, just reading those facts, like, geez, guy's handcuffed and tasing that many times. I don't know.
When I think about it, when you're trying to, if you were trying to catch someone who's on the run, broken the law, and you're trying to get them, and your adrenaline is going a million miles an hour. When you see them going these high-speed chases, the level of reserve that cops a lot of times show in those situations, where when you finally get a hold of him, you want to fucking kill him. You'd want to rip him limb from limb.
Absolutely endangered your life,
dude.
The lives of countless innocent people as they go blowing through intersections. No, I get you.
Oh. I don't know how you don't. I don't know how you hold back in a lot of cases, and a lot of times they don't, and that's where you see a lot of these.
Well, I think that probably they tell you frustration builds up over time, and then you get a hold of one of these guys and it just lets loose sometimes.
Yeah,
that'd be natural.
I think so too. Well, the Supreme Court is being asked to review. I guess this was in 2008, and they were being asked to review it as part of a civil rights lawsuit filed on behalf of this guy's son, the Baron Pikes. If the justice agrees to hear the case, it would be the court's first look at police use of stun guns after turning away appeals from both recipients of the high voltage shocks and from police officers. So what does that mean? That Supreme Court's turned down 2 other cases?
Yeah, the Supreme Court has absolute discretion on what cases they want to take.
Yeah, cherry pick.
Yeah, we talked about before when you hear the phrase, "Oh, I'm going to take it all the way to the Supreme Court." Oh, you are?
Yeah,
well, you might want to, but they need to pick your case to take it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times what they do is they look at it and they say, well, is this an issue that's really impacting society that we need to speak on?
Right.
For example, the gay marriage thing will be decided by the Supreme Court.
It's history in the making.
Well, it's such an issue in all the different states, and everybody's ruling differently on it. They need the Supreme Court to speak on it.
And like you've said before, that will set a precedent, and other courts and other people can go, hey, we're hoping that you'll rule as the Supreme Court did.
Well, when the Supreme Court rules, it's the law.
Over.
Yeah, that's the law then.
Okay.
So that's what you then cite to and say, here's
that's
the law.
Okay. All right.
But until then, you have different circuit courts, appellate courts, who are holding differently. And so that's the problem is you've got all these jurisdictions all over the country, state courts and federal appellate courts, holding on these things differently. And it's like, well, what really is the law? And you need the Supreme Court to say what it is.
Okay.
So that's how they kind of look at it. Like, is this really significant to society that we need to take a look? And
if they turn you down, can you redo your case and bring it back to the Supreme Court?
Not really. It needs to be some other appealable issue, and it needs to be an issue of federal law that they want to take. So,
yeah. So it's a really big deal in the Supreme Court.
Oh, for sure. So the fact that they've declined to rule on a couple of these is not surprising at all.
And okay, go ahead.
No, but the argument is basically what's excessive force in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Is it disproportionate to tase people when they look to be already confined and under control?
Right.
And is there a constitutional violation of doing that? So This case just today was ruled on by the Supreme Court. They actually said they didn't
today
rule,
being yesterday.
sorry.
Kind of when we were. I know it's tricky.
They didn't rule on the merits. They didn't say who's right or who's wrong, but they said it's going back. It's being remanded to the lower appellate court.
So they're not going to take it.
They're not taking it, but they've ordered the appellate court who ruled on it before to look at it again under sort of a different standard of review.
Okay.
And consider, is there enough evidence here to go to trial and to figure out whether this person's rights were violated. So sort of a technical type thing. But long and the short of it is we're not going to have, at this point, a pronouncement from the Supreme Court on whether this is right or wrong.
God, this seems like one you would absolutely want to get in front of a jury and get some sympathetic jury. Yeah. I mean, anytime you've got a kid, I could just see a defense team having a field day with this thing, trying to go, oh, look at this poor kid, he's 21, they just overdid it, and then sue for gazillions of dollars.
Yeah. Well, in that instance, it'd be the plaintiff lawyer arguing that.
Or plaintiff lawyer, yeah.
You're right. It's
I can just see
tough
it.
Facts because the cop has to defend. How do you defend it? Well, I was really in danger. I felt in danger, and he has to explain how that was.
He was already handcuffed.
Yeah.
How big of a danger could he be?
You already tased him 3 times. You did it a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, and a 7th, and an 8th.
At least.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, that's why I think, like, okay, adrenaline's going, and you're fucking pissed. You've had it with this asshole, and you're going to show him who's boss.
Yeah.
And not thinking probably that you could kill someone. I guess I just didn't think much about it, but I didn't realize you could kill someone with a taser gun. I mean,
but wouldn't it occur to you after a while?
Well,
they'd probably be in a certain state where you look at them and you think,
Yeah, the first time you zap them and people go, and they just immediately drop no matter who they are. I don't care what kind of a ox you are.
Yeah.
Game over, you're done.
Some fun videos to watch.
Oh, dude, they're hilarious. They're hilarious videos to watch because everybody across the board turns into a 3-year-old.
You're a human being. You react to voltage pretty much the same way.
We did that to a buddy. We tased a buddy, and when we were doing those films, we tased a buddy. Had some guy did that to him. That was crazy.
Did he just go?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But what I didn't know is since 2001, stun guns have been listed as a cause in more than 60 deaths in the United States.
Wow.
Police departments using these weapons should limit the deployment only to situations which are life-threatening or where there is a threat of serious injury. Well, that's what a gun is for. Like, if it's a life-threatening issue, you use your gun.
Well, it's better than killing the person is what the other argument would be, right? Yeah, we tased them. We wanted to control them without killing them. Here they were presenting a deadly force against us. Sorry that he died, but it's not like we blew his head off. We were trying to do the most conservative thing we could.
Right. And like I said, 60 deaths since 2001 in America, which means we're better than the rest of the world because in that same time period since 2001, 540 deaths globally. Yeah. I did not realize that many people.
We've been dialing it down a little bit.
I guess, yeah. We're not blasting people nearly as hard as some. But yeah, dude, I don't know. Well, that's interesting that the Supreme Court is not going to take that case.
Right. Not at this point, at least. It goes back down to the lower court, and then depending on how that happens, maybe it comes back up. But.
Well, I wonder how tough of a decision that is for them to make. Like whether or not to see that. I guess that there could be a myriad of reasons, but interesting nonetheless. That's for sure. We were talking yesterday about the houses up for auction in Detroit.
Yeah, in the Boston Edison district.
Yeah. That sounds like they're getting a good response from all of this stuff. I like this program that Duggan has set up, Mayor Duggan. It's a whole campaign. I guess I didn't realize kind of what that whole campaign is. He sat here and in this house at that microphone that you're sitting at and told us about his campaign, like getting rid of all the plight or whatever in Detroit. Yeah, the blight. All the houses. He talked absolutely about that kind of thing, and here he is coming through on his words. But I guess I didn't realize that's what this was. But they got this whole campaign, this save viable but vacant houses, and focused on East Side's Osborne neighborhood Sunday, with a tour of 10 soon-to-be auctioned homes. And so they've got like certain little pockets around the city where these houses are pretty good, they're viable, let's auction these up, and they focus on those. And then outside of that, he's talking about they're still going to need to demolish a ton of these. They've got like 16,000 city properties 16,000 of them. So Duggan's plan is to get federal funds and knock out 300 of these things in May, another 500 in June, and then get on the pace of 800 a month for the fall, by fall.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool.
So after a couple of years, they'll have the 16,000 done.
Yeah. As far as these auctions that they've had going on, and these houses start at $1,000, all of them, and some of them are gorgeous mansions, like we were talking about, go from anywhere from like 13 grand to 50 grand or something in the end. They've had over 6,000 people register for these auctions. About 700 people came to the tour at the Boston Edison homes that we were talking about yesterday. 200 turned out for the Osborne event. Those are the homes that, remember, Beth pulled up a couple of them. They were smaller, those smaller ones. And then the goal is to sell up to 400 by the end of the year. Those are the ones that buyers are on the hook. They've got to fix those
to code.
Yeah, within 6 months or 9 months if they're in the historic district.
Well, that's good because it's getting people who want to own and are going to promise to bring it up and actually have it be a viable spot going forward. And
it makes so much sense.
Not just accumulate stuff and then just let it sit there and rot, but hopefully they're actually going to fix it up and move forward with it.
And it seems like a perfect fit to get people that are looking to move into a home, maybe don't have the funds, and then I have no problem with, okay, how do we make this work? We've got these properties that are owned by the city. We don't want them. We'd much rather have some family living in there and at a reasonable price. And if they're going to take care of it, it's one less house we got to deal with and knock down. It just seems like a perfect fit.
Well, at this point, they're going to get a lot of people, entrepreneurial people at best, I think, who are going to look at it and go, yeah, this is a good opportunity to get something cheap, fix it up, and then flip it. I think, being a guy with a family, you're to me, honestly, decades away from having a viable family place. The fact that would they open a Whole Foods and it was like, bring a parade down the street because they've actually got a grocery store that. So it's a long way away, but it's a start. And like you say, some really interesting properties that can be attractive with the right person taking care of it and fixing it up and moving it forward.
Yeah, and I think there's no doubt there's a gamble. You're talking about people that are probably living in Detroit anyways or want to be in Detroit, and it's not the safest area in the world. There's no doubt about that, but
if they can start to bridge these pockets, build a pocket, bridge it with another pocket, they certainly have some really good things going on in Midtown, downtown, and so forth.
And really, where else in the country are you going to get? I mean, you're talking about, dude, a 5-bedroom, 7-bathroom, 5,000 square foot. I mean, that's a mansion in most people's minds.
Yeah.
Beautiful decor in some cases. For 50 grand, 39 grand, where the hell are you going to find that anywhere in the country? Nowhere.
Yeah, and if it does come back, you're sitting on just a beautiful
gold mine. Yeah, it could be awesome. And I'm not even thinking down the road to that. Just thinking about like putting your family in a nice home, and if the block is looking out for each other, and it could be cool, man. It's a good start. But the thing with you mentioned people coming and wanting to flip them. One of the rules is that buyers are required to fix up the properties and produce a certificate of occupancy within 6 months. So I think that little rule is in there to prevent people from trying to do that, hanging onto it and flipping it.
Yeah.
Like they want people that are moving in there to move in. Fix it up and move in, which is cool. That's good. Yeah. And also interesting, the Flint. What's going on in Flint?
Same thing that's happening in a lot of cities that have lost industry.
Yeah, well,
unfortunately.
They're a mirror of what's going on in Detroit. They're like a mini Detroit, and they've got the same types of things that are going on in Detroit, where you've got a Dan Gilbert coming in and backing financially a bunch of local companies, anything Detroit. He's fully on board and
see great potential.
Yeah. he's putting a lot of people to work, and he's giving small businesses a chance to thrive and get going. It's really cool. Well, they've got a group very similar to that. They've got like 4 guys that are worth a shitload of money in Flint that are doing kind of the same thing and building up the downtown area. They got new bars and restaurants and theaters and grocery stores, all kinds of stuff going on. There's really some kind of encouraging things going on there, because Detroit and Flint are 1 and 2 is most violent cities in America.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, it's brutal, dude. But they're running into some problems here, and it's big news the last couple of days, because they've got they're trying to get on their feet, and they are going to file for bankruptcy if they don't do something with the healthcare issues going on, the problems.
So healthcare owed to their retirees.
Retirees, exactly. And so they're trying to go, okay, we've got to cut back on some of the healthcare that benefits that have been promised to these people. And those people are going, bullshit, it was promised to me, and they're filing a lawsuit. So, depending how this is ruled on, and I don't know how a jury or a judge would look at that. You'd know more than I would, but
it's a tricky thing, right? Because you've got the other side, you're asking to take this, make this big concession on their health care that they've worked for, that they were promised. But at the same time, they're being told, look, the alternative is we go bankrupt, and you might have just a sliver of what we're talking about now. So concede and come to a reasonable agreement.
Right.
That's tough, man. I mean, that's what's been happening in Michigan for the last few years. A lot of workers have had to face that tough choice, and you saw it in the Detroit process, and here we are in Flint too. But this healthcare thing, when employers and cities promised this stuff years ago, they never fathomed that healthcare would be the astronomical cost that it is now. It was just kind of a throw-in benefit. Yeah,
throw-in benefit.
Yeah, and we'll provide you healthcare too. And a lot of these union contracts, it was lifetime healthcare for you and your dependents.
Yeah.
So here we are with a worker who died 10 years ago, and he still has a widow who's, 75. Yeah, sucking on the teeth.
Yeah.
And will be for possibly another 10 years, and the cities are going, oh, God,
So what was the problem? Was did they just not expect people to live so long, or was it just the cost was way different then?
I think it was the cost. And it was just looked at as, again, kind of a throw-in type of thing. If you think about it, like, why does your employer provide you health care? It's just strange. It's like, why?
It doesn't seem strange just because they've always done it.
Right, it doesn't seem strange now because that's what you get. You're going to go to a new employer. Absolutely, you're going to have health care, you're going to have vision, you're going to have a 401k option, whatever.
Right.
But if you kind of step back and look at it, it's like, why is an employer providing that? It's just kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
What does it have to do with your employment?
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's the idea. I get, they want to keep you healthy going forward. They want a healthy employee.
Well, why did they do? That's interesting. I've never thought about it.
It was so cheap years ago, and it was an easy thing to just go, yeah, we'll give you health care.
How much cheaper do you think it was? Like, what are you talking?
No idea. I mean,
massively cheaper, hundreds of times cheaper.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
when
dude.
you look at it back in the 40s and 50s, and massively cheaper. It was just a throw-in.
Wow, it's just hard to even like.
Here they're saddled with this, and they've got all their, numbers people looking at it going, this isn't viable in another 5 years.
Yeah.
So they're trying to make cuts. They're trying to stay afloat.
Well, remember the argument that the automakers, what they were running into with the was it the Japanese and the Chinese who didn't have that hanging off them.
Right.
This long gone workforce, massive workforce, who was just dragging that thing down. And I know there's a lot of people that listen to us and going, fuck you, right now, that they don't want to hear that. The union guys that are
on their side of it, look, they're working hard, and the company agreed to what they
exactly,
and they've got their contract, and God bless them.
Yeah.
But the reality is, you're right. You look at the other nations, and that's just not their structure. It's not our fault. It's just that's not their structure.
Right.
And so how do we compete with that?
You can't make a car for the same price. Yeah. Someone's paying for that.
Yeah.
The end user's paying for it, and they throw it onto the price of the car. So now when you try to get competitive at the bottom line,
yeah, it's tough.
It's impossible. It's not tough. It's impossible, really. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in Flint, because people don't want this to go to bankruptcy. They don't want to go to Chapter 9 again, like they've done in Detroit.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't work out for the little guy ever.
Right.
Pennies on the
you end
dollar.
up getting pennies on the dollar, all
Yeah.
the creditors. Yeah.
It sucks, man. Well, that's the first time I've read articles where, wow, there actually seems like there's actually maybe something positive going on around Flint. It's been so bad for so long since GM left that you rarely hear anything good. It's always a negative story about violence or about poverty. Everyone's in total poverty. It's a mess in Flint.
Well,
so to hear about it coming back.
Yeah, and in my very limited experience with Flint, it's anecdotal at best. They have this run, the Crim, every August, and I know, Eric, you've heard of the Crim. It's a 10-mile run. I think they probably have 5Ks and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a very
marathon thing.
Not the length of a marathon, but same idea.
Yeah.
A race that you can anybody can get in and
Sure.
take part in, and it's very well attended. It's a huge
yeah.
success, and Flint looks good that day for sure. You know, you run down the bricks of whatever main street it is. I don't even know. Maybe it's Main Street. And it's cool. And it's one of those things where you look and it's a neat, big city experience, and they need more of that.
Wow. Well, hopefully they come to some sort of an agreement and can settle on something before they get to a point of no return, and nobody makes out in that case.
Right.
Why don't we take a quick break, Jay, and we'll come back and we'll touch on the Nigeria thing a little bit, and then I wanted to mention this child porn victim story. Just brutal, man.
Okay.
We'll do all that next on the Detroit Cast.
That's good. You go check on Mikey real quick.
Want to fire right back up, Jay?
Yeah. Let me just check on Mikey.
Okay.
Mikey, you all right? What you doing?
No, so anyway, I didn't tell you that specifically before because I don't know what you want to do.
It's weird.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. I really am.
I don't think it like I've been Googling just to see, and I feel like by now there would have been a story maybe, but I don't see one. So I mean, like, like the thing is, I'm not trying to be over dramatic, like, oh my god, but in the same hand, there's no question. I said, like, yeah, like to me, like minimal, like even if it's not a dead body, even if that's not anything that happened, minimal though, it's still a very suspicious situation. That a room would be open all night, no one's in there.
Yeah, we should try that back one more time.
Empty liquor bottles. You know, the other thing I forgot to mention, there was like a big jug of like that, like either muscle milk, kind of dry. You know when you go like GNC, you'll get a big something like that too. Like there's a big jug of it.
Let's try that hotel one more time.
Okay.
Eric's hotel.
I just didn't, but I didn't want to tell you before because I didn't want to tell you, but it was just like it probably isn't. I'm guessing it's probably not what happened, but no matter what, it's something fucking weird.
I've never seen a hotel where you could possibly have a door open.
There must have been, maybe there was something in it. I don't even know. But that would be obvious. I think I would have seen that, but if there was something that was keeping it open, it was very small. It wasn't like, there's a chair there, or or something.
Yeah, let's call him real quick. I kind of need to blow through some of this stuff.
Yeah. What are we at? Can you tell?
Yeah, we're at like almost an hour.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, we can hit that pretty quick. Just avoid the miscellaneous and go right. Just like 4 times.
I wanted to do one miscellaneous.
Okay.
I'll be quick about it, but it's to benefit you.
To benefit me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll enjoy it. All right, ready? All right, and welcome back to the Tuesday edition of the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay here with you. Thank you for taking the time to check out the show, and hope you enjoy it. You can write us if you'd like. Drop us an email at thedetroitcast@gmail.com. Don't be shy. Feel free to hit the donate button if you'd like to help us out. We sure appreciate that. Eric is here as well, and he had an interesting story this afternoon. He was telling us about the hotel that he stayed at over the weekend. He was suspicious. Yeah, he was staying at a hotel because he was doing stand-up this weekend, and he noticed got home drunk at 3 in the morning, and the room was occupied, messy, door was wide open, which you and I was like, how does the door stay open in a hotel? Those things automatically close, but whatever. TV's blaring. Eric doesn't care. He's drunk as shit at 3 in the morning, stumbles into his room, passes out, wakes up the next morning, goes by the room, same situation, TV blaring, and at this point he gets a little worried, thinks, like, was this ransacked or someone dead in here, and kind of peeks his head in. Hey, is anyone in here?
Sees the dead body.
Potentially. He sees a blanket, and he swears something was in it, and that's when he was like, okay, fuck it, I'm out of here, don't touch anything, and he bailed and went downstairs and told the front desk people about it, and then left. You and I are going, dude, how do you have a potential dead body? That's when you stay there and you figure out what happened.
I wish I would have. Now that I had more time to think about it, I wish I would have just said, hey, I want to, at a minimal, tell the guy about it, and then want them to go up and see it, and then tell me, no, this wasn't, or yes, it was.
Right, without having to involve us, which you've ended up doing, and so now we want to know what happened. And so we feel the need to call the hotel. We did that right out of the gate this afternoon, and
got disconnected.
We were talking to a lady. I think she hung up on us. I don't know why, but her phone didn't sound like it was very solid anyways, the connection. But I don't know. Something about it sounded like she didn't want to deal with us. She knew we weren't renting a room.
Story out.
Maybe
she's covering for something.
Maybe she knows more about the dead body than anybody, and
maybe she's behind us.
Maybe, you never know. I suppose
she's at the scene of the crime. We know that for sure.
Anything's possible now, I guess. I don't really.
So was Eric, though, for the record.
Eric was there.
Eric was there.
You know what? You've heard that arsonists hang around and watch.
Oh yeah.
Oh jeez, Louise.
What?
Jeez Louise.
You did the right thing by leaving because had you hung around, they'd have been like, why are you so interested?
Yeah.
You've been in handcuffs right now, being tased 8 times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly.
And well, why don't we call him and see if we can get anywhere, find out what the hell you saw in that room, and if we got an update on the story.
Well, like I said to Jay, no matter what, I don't know if there's a body, but definitely a weird situation.
Mm-hmm. It better be a body. Well, a build-up.
By you.
Yeah, hi. Who am I speaking with? Laura, hi. It's Mike and Jay at the Detroit Cast. We were calling a buddy of ours stayed there over the weekend, and we were worried about a situation in the neighboring room, and wanted to make sure everything was okay. And I don't know if you're familiar with what I'm talking about from this morning, but there was possible. Well, we're not sure what. We're trying to figure out what, because it's really been eating away at us. We're really nervous about it. Want to make sure everything was okay in one of the rooms.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
What was going on there? Oh.
Is he okay?
Was he in the room at the time when we saw him, or we thought maybe we saw someone in there? Oh,
he died?
No, he's okay. But so that was him rolled up in the blanket. We thought so. Wow, was he just drunk? Really? Wow. So he'd been there for a few days. Had he been causing any problems? No.
So, wow.
So, yeah, it's very odd. So, did you guys know as soon as we said something? Did you guys go right up there and go, "Oh, this is going to be 624. That's Carl in there. He's been here for a few days." Did you know right away what was going on? Oh, God.
I think that's a connection, obviously, at this
point. I can't believe she talked to us like that.
I know.
Dude, that never happens. They're not supposed to talk to you.
Oh, my God. So he wasn't
shit.
So it was a body, at least. I mean, he wasn't dead, but it was a body in that thing.
Wow. Yeah.
That was so weird.
You came through. You're lucky.
You might have helped him out. You know, he might have been in bad straits.
Right. You could argue almost that I saved his life.
Well, thank God 12 hours after you found him. Thank God it wasn't serious, because that could have been, thank God you were there, Eric.
Right.
You really did save the day 12 hours after you found him in need and trouble.
Would you have called right away on the front desk?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
3 in the morning?
Sure as fuck. Like, wait 12 hours like some people did, but whatever. Okay. Sounds like he pulled through anyways, remarkably.
Yeah.
What do you think you are, the Detroit response team at the police department? Yeah, that's common. People respond in hours.
To be honest, when I woke up in the morning, it was one of those situations where I think like I was so gone that like it was odd at the night, but like when I woke up in the morning, I kind of was like, I asked my buddy like, what happened last night? What was with that room?
Did I kill some guy last night?
That's not what I. Well, I'm gonna text my buddy because he'll be happy to know, I guess.
Yeah, sounds like Carl's okay. No thanks to you guys.
Well, again, that's I mean, it's arguable that I helped him out, possibly.
When you see a guy and is desperate, you know absolutely how desperate he was. He's a depressed man, Eric. Drinking, he's been there for days, and it is absolutely.
I didn't know he was there for days.
You abandon him. You go in. You notice there's a problem at 3 in the morning when you really could have helped him out. Then you just abandon him and let your fellow man sit there to die, and thankfully he pulled through. Sounds like he's going to make it. Again, no thanks to you.
Well,
you're not so quick action.
It's funny. I also mentioned to Jay. The other thing that was funny about the room was there was one of those big like almost gallon things of like muscle milks, and I actually kind of like for like bulking off or whatever. And I actually told my buddy like I wonder if it was like
steal it.
Yeah. Well, no, but I thought it was.
He's not gonna need it. He's probably dead.
I wondered maybe if it was like a roid rage situation, or this guy was one of those guys that just something just snapped and he
got everything's going through here. So,
I know. He does fill in that backstory. You pick that out about him right away, Jay. And I never noticed about him, but he really does create the story in his own head.
Well, I'd like you could argue that I'm like a detective. I have a mind of a detective.
You could argue that, yeah.
You could. No, you could argue that. Nobody else in their sane mind would argue that. But yeah, Detective Fady leaving the guy there in an unknown state for 12 hours. We'll get back to it. We got time.
Well, having said that, my conclusion was not that far off. I saw the muscle milk. I saw the drinking. I thought maybe a guy had a depression situation.
And you reacted in a
12 hours
quick,
I was
matter of 12 hours. I mean, you really did spring, and I do mean spring into action 12 hours later.
Dude, I was in a little whatever. I've been drinking since like 5. I didn't really know.
That's a good excuse. Being drunk is always a good excuse. In court, Jay doesn't. I was drunk. Usually get you out of anything.
Well, I wasn't a detective. I was just a passerby. Or
passerby.
Anyway, well, I'm glad we got down to that. I'm personally glad that.
I'm just glad
I can't believe she gave us those details.
No, probably shouldn't have, but
she violated a policy somewhere.
Yeah.
Thank you, Laura.
Jay, I thought of you when I read this story, and briefly I wanted to mention it to you. I thought you would find some interest in this. You know, Mitch Williams, the former Major League Baseball relief pitcher.
Sure.
He's taking a leave of absence from the Major League Baseball network, where he was currently employed. Care to guess why?
No idea.
No idea. Okay, good guess.
Know much about
I would have said the same.
I don't know much about it.
Williams managed a team of 10-year-olds that appeared in a Ripken Baseball League tournament in Maryland last weekend. And during the tournament, Williams cursed at a pitcher on the opposing team and ordered his pitcher to throw at the pitcher.
Dude.
In the earlier game, he was ejected for cursing at an umpire.
I do not blame the guy. It is so emotionally. I coach a couple of travel.
That's why I brought this up.
And let me tell you, man, it is so hard to keep perspective. It is so hard. And the only thing that helps me do it is to keep thinking, I don't want to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to be that guy on YouTube.
You know everybody's filming.
Take a deep breath and just chill. They're 11, they're 12, whatever. But I can totally identify with that. You should see what some of the parents do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unreal.
Well, it used to be there was like one parent, Deuce Dad, for instance, Oov could embarrass you. God damn it, Derek! Derek, and you could be totally on sides. It's offside! Fucking offside! Screaming. He's just making up rules as he goes. But Oov could make a scene.
A beautiful man, Oov. I love him. But why is he still speaking in a thick German accent 50 years after he came to the country?
Who knows? I love it, though.
I do, too. God damn it! Everything starts with, God damn it.
God damn it, Derek! This
is a man I grew up next door to.
Yeah.
And once I figured out that's what he was saying, God damn it, for everything, then everything went way more smoothly. Because I'd be like, what? What did he want? You know, I'd lose him. God damn it!
Was it your mom?
Yes.
When she first met him?
Yes. It wasn't when she first met him. I know what you're going to. My mom never, ever got through the accent. Like, again, we lived next door to the guy, thick German accent. After being around him for years, finally you kind of get it, and you can figure out what he's saying. And again, beautiful man, love him.
Yeah, me too.
But he's coming home one day, and he's driving. He's going slowly past our driveway. And my mom's coming out to get the mail, and so they sort of meet there. And he says something to her with this window rolls off. Probably started with God damn it, Cheryl, God damn it, God damn it. And so her usual mode of dealing with him was to go, oh, okay, hi, yeah, hi, great, okay,
smile,
and wave, right? We've all kind of done it when we don't understand someone with an accent.
Little language barrier.
She that was her modus operandi. That's how she dealt with Oov. Well, it turns out that unfortunately his mother had passed away that day. And he was telling my mom that. He was telling my mom that
his mom passed away.
I just got news that my mom passed away.
And
her response was, okay, great, Uwe, good to see you, yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Good.
Oh, my God. God damn it, Cheryl.
No, that's what happened for sure. He went home and said, God damn it, Bucket. You know, you won't believe this neighbor, you know.
I'm a rotten neighbor, no soul on her.
Yeah, lit into my mom for sure, because the next time Margaret saw my mom, it was, I think Uwe was trying to tell you the other day that his mother unfortunately passed away. I was like,
Margaret, a saint of a woman.
Oh, love the woman.
Yeah.
So
that's why.
So my mom's like, holy shit. I was doing the smile and wave.
Yeah,
thing, you know.
being the polite neighbor.
But in her defense, again, he's here for 50 years, Uwe. Come on,
Yeah,
let's
slow down.
Let's let up on the accent.
Uwe was one of those guys where when I was around him on a regular basis, I would absolutely pick up, what he was saying.
You did the goddammit.
Yeah, I'd get most of it. I'd pick up, and you only really need, if you're really trying to pick up conversation, if you can get every third word,
Yep.
for the most part, you can get the gist of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very confident in my conversation with Uwe. I could pick up a few words. That's all I needed. I knew where he was going. I was on board, and everything was fine. But there were times when I'd go a couple of years without seeing him, and it was like I had to relearn how to ride a bike again and pick up. It was like,
pick up the language.
Derek, what did he say?
Yeah, you're not conversational in Uwe anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not speaking Uwe.
Yeah.
And
Uwe,
Derek,
by the way.
Uwe, yeah, the big German, 6'5" German, awesome. And but yeah, I was always, it was amazing to
Get out of practice.
Well, I would, but Derek and Mo
Yeah.
were just, it was their dad.
Yeah.
So it was like anything he said,
Yeah.
they'd just be like, oh, they'd just go back and forth with him. And
Like he's telling us to get the hell out of here.
yeah. And I was like, wow,
Oh,
you
wow.
picked that up? How'd you pick that up?
So quickly.
Amazing. But yeah.
Oh man.
So how did we get on that again?
The soccer.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
So he would go nuts on
Uwe
refs,
would go nuts,
for
yeah,
sure.
on refs.
He would go nuts, and there'd always be that, that odd parent, or not that Uwe was odd, but just the one or two parents who felt the need to yell at the refs, yell at the kids,
Yes.
whatever. But now, man, it's pretty much open season.
The difference was, though, Jay, there was always that parent, whether you were playing against a team who had that parent, or if there were a few of them that we play with, who just happened to be one.
Remember he kicked
Oh, yeah.
Fields?
Absolutely, and he knew soccer, so it wasn't like I hated those parents who clearly didn't know shit about the sport and would yell. Those ones drive me even more nuts. But what was I going to say? What I never understood. Oh, the times were different though. People didn't have cameras then. Like you had that nutty parent, and I'd give anything to have video of who getting thrown out of a game. How awesome would that be to watch now? But now the thought that you have going through your head is what I would have, knowing that
Somebody's got their
three-quarters
phone
of these
out.
parents
I'm
are
about to
filming.
be filmed. Yeah.
for sure,
Yeah.
especially if there's any sort of dust up.
Yeah, you got to keep it cool.
And what I don't get, though, is you're talking about 10-year-olds. And I've reffed 10-year-old soccer, 8-year-old soccer. I've coached 8- and 10-year-old soccer. The leagues I was dealing with, they were chasing a ball. You'd have 20 kids chasing a ball in a circle, and one madman on the sideline going, "He's fucking offside!" I had to kick a guy out of the place for swearing and with 8-year-olds. I'm like, dude, they're chasing a ball around. Half the kids are doing cartwheels and picking dandelions on the 18 over there. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's way concerned about the win, right?
Yeah, but 10 years old, he's Mitch Williams. He's got him throwing at the pitcher.
10 is serious.
I guess 10, yeah.
10, 11, 12 is big time serious.
It is now, especially.
I don't have a problem with what Williams did.
You don't have a problem with
and I can totally understand, losing your cool like that. I've come close, believe me.
Do you think getting thrown out in a game during the afternoon, that a couple hours later when you had another game, you wouldn't come back and be cursing at people and telling 10-year-olds to throw another 10-year-old?
Well,
I'm just saying.
And like you said, he took a leave of absence, so maybe there's something more there. I don't know.
Well, I know where you're going with that. I do, and you're probably right. We don't have a ton of time left, but I did want to get into a couple of these real quick. This story in USA Today in Monday's paper absolutely floored me.
Yeah,
man.
everybody ready to puke.
Yeah, dude.
It's sick, man.
It actually was almost shocking. This mother, I can't even imagine being in this mother's shoes, but she gets called into this conference table with federal cops, and they got a computer there, and she's like, what the hell's going on? And detectives show her images of her ex-husband naked, posing next to their 7-year-old daughter, who was unconscious on his bed. Oh, she thought she was going to throw up. She asked for a garbage can, thought she was going to puke. She learned that her ex-husband had drugged and raped their daughter and invited men to choose among his 3 young daughters for sex. He took photos of himself and another man raping the youngest and posted them online for other pedophiles. Dude. I mean, if not for the agents, this mom's like, oh my God, they saved my kids' lives, all this stuff, but they talk about this dark web that I didn't know existed, and I've talked about it before. Doug Stanhope does a great bit online. He's like, I've seen everything on the internet. I've seen people fucking chickens. I've seen the most grotesque thing you can imagine. I've never seen an adult raping a fucking child.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen, and I'm like, you know what? I've seen the most disgusting, vile shit you can imagine. With the audience the size we had at the Jerome Mike Show, people sent us the most vile shit all day, every day.
Horses, not coughing horses.
Well, coughing. Well, chicks coughing.
Right.
Dealing with the horses. Yeah, and but I never saw. Nobody's ever. I've never seen anything like that. You know what I mean? Like never. It's totally underground. They talk about these pedos hide using their websites that encrypt their computers, identifying information, and it's fueled this explosion in the child porn industry. I guess it's this, the underground aspect is out of control, but these cops are getting pretty good. They follow the they get these images random, like, and they just try to piece together whatever they can. They take images and they unblurry pictures that have been blurred out, and it's like, oh, I recognize that table with a scratch on it in the background, and it's like, oh, where have I seen? And it's this amazing giant puzzle
work.
Yeah, and they get all these clues. They monitor these websites popular with pedophiles. They use social media to blast photos of suspected pornographers in the hope that someone will recognize them. They talk about this guy, how about this for a job? You're a cop, you're a fed. His job, day to day, he pours over thousands of sexually explicit images of children. Ugh, dude.
Talk about wearing on you.
Wow. Hey,
Wow.
Can you think of a worse job description? You're paid to go look at the most horrible child porn images all day, thousands of them. Wow. How do you not go insane for something like that? But he says that finding these kids involved in these, that are in these pictures, is really, really hard, because 80% of these victims it's not with a stranger, it's with someone you know, it's family. It's just this horrible thing. And but these groups that are specializing in this stuff now, they say that they've helped identify about 5,000 children, but there's still tens of thousands of them underground. But and then quickly, there's a couple other people. This guy, let's see, where was this one? There was a case with 2 young girls. For every victim saved, sometimes investigators get a second chance. That was the case with 2 young girls on a set of images found on the computer of a man arrested in LA in 2011. A year later, photos and videos showing 2 girls being abused were confiscated from a Denver man's computer. One video showed a man raping a girl who appears to be 7 to 9. The girl is crying as a woman tells the girl, "It's okay, it's no big deal."
Jeez.
Ugh. But then it pisses me off, dude. They mention those people, and it's like, oh, the guy got 50 years in jail, and they ended up catching him, and she got 25 years.
That's it.
Like, okay, what about the rest of their lives? You're going to let this piece of shit out after 25 years? Why? 50 years? Why? So you can get out when he's 80? Yeah.
He'll be rehabilitated in jail, right?
Oh, yeah, sure, because that's possible. Dude, is it possible that people don't understand? Like, these people are just wired this way. Just like you and I find women attractive, these people find 7-year-old boys attractive. Like, that's what gets them off. There's no rehabbing them. You delete them.
Yeah.
Delete them.
Oh, God, it's just sickening. I mean, these kids are just 100% victims. You know, it's some crimes you can sort of go, well, you know, the person kind of got into.
Yeah, they're wearing this.
Yeah, they got into that situation and stuff. These kids are just kids, you know.
And
it's so disgusting, and they're just completely helpless and innocent.
And I don't mean to do this, Jay, but like,
no, don't even think about it.
Dude, seriously, your daughter over here. I'm looking at her, and it's like, who could even, like, how could you look at a person that size, that, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, who are they? You want to delete them, kill them,
monsters.
Dude, monsters, the worst of the worst. Like, don't put them in fucking jail and let the community pay for them for the next 60 years. Fucking delete them.
Is there a more selfish act?
No, you've just destroyed
Absolutely.
the world of stuff. You might as well have murdered them.
Yeah.
seriously, these people talk about committing suicides, suicide attempts. This mother with these 3 girls, it's over.
You know, so they can get their rocks off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unreal.
This guy wasn't hiding his name, his address, anything. I mean, he's literally flaunting it out there. They made it easy for them to find. And don't any of you pricks out there try and compare these deletable dregs of society with our wish granters, the toys. Don't. That's not what we're talking about here. This is apples and oranges. Don't do that. I know some of you are going, oh, really? Well, I hear a lot about these TOEIC Teacher of the Year candidates you talk about. No. If you are 16, male, and you can bang the 23-year-old art teacher who's cute, Teacher of the Year candidate.
Apples and oranges, man.
Apples and oranges. When you're talking about a 5-year-old, 7-year-old child, whole different ballgame. But yeah, that story was actually like sent shivers up my spine when I was reading it. It was like, and I don't have kids. I can't imagine if I had kids. Like,
well, it's good to hear that they're ramping up the investigation units and all that. Yeah. They're taking it super serious because it is a problem for sure.
It's a major problem, and it leads into our last story of the day. Not to go on such a bummer, but the Nigerian girls, man. I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Talking about stealing these girls and selling them off into slavery.
Where the hell are they?
I don't know, dude. Why?
I think they split them up into little groups, and
there's 300 of them.
Yeah, but you think they split them up into 30-person groups and just spread them around?
But you'd think they'd find one of the 30-person groups.
Especially with the U.S. involved. I mean, I'm a big believer in our special ops capabilities and
totally
that stuff. And I feel like if we were seriously involved and had all the satellite technology going and all the stuff we have, but man, it's hard to believe we haven't found them.
Yeah.
Maybe they have, and maybe they've considered that they're safe for now, and there's some consideration given to waiting for some reason. I don't know.
I suppose that's possible. Like if you found a few of them and you wanted to get more information before blowing up the case.
Exactly.
I don't know. That'd be a tough call, man, because you're dealing with. If they got wind of that, they could, they could kill them,
right.
and blood is on your hands at that point. That
don't you agree though that once we're involved in something like that, God, it'd be really hard to hide that many people and
well, it's a big ass place.
Sure, man. It is, and they, I'm sure, moved to neighboring countries, but you got people on the ground, and people that we spread millions around various regions, having operatives.
Well, the problem
feed us information and stuff.
The problem is in a lot of these regions of the world where you've got these militant
warlords. And
they're tipped off. They're tipped off. They absolutely get a heads up from someone on the inside that
double cross us. They'll take our money, take our $1 million for the tip, and then they'll tip the other side.
And I hate to say, I can't even believe I'm going to say this, Jay, but I'm questioning Good Luck Jonathan. I really. I don't know that President Goodluck Jonathan in Nigeria. I just don't know that he handled this.
Not sure we have the right leader in place.
I don't know. I like I said, I hate to even say that. I really think Goodluck Jonathan is a good guy. He means well, but why he would deny U.S. involvement when they asked to help right away, I don't know why he felt. Maybe he wanted to give his guys a good month-long shot at catching them himself. You guys stay there. Good Luck's got it.
We got it.
Good Luck's got it. Don't worry about it. But over the weekend, we heard from one of the girls, and it was kind of weird. This girl, what a ballsy little girl, man. She hears in the middle of the night. These girls are exhausted. They've been going all day, and they're preparing for these physics exams, and quiet in the dorm. It's late. All of a sudden, shots ring out in dead of night. And this is Amina Goombu, 17-year-old student at the school. Gunshots woke me up out of a deep sleep. Men in uniform came in saying they were here to rescue us. Wake up, girls. We've come to rescue you. We're soldiers. Don't worry. You are safe. Get out and assemble close to the parade ground. We will save you. I felt relieved, and I thanked God at first. Then she got a bad feeling and ran. Good. Listen to yourself. It had been more than a month. It's been more than a month since 300 girls were taken from that village. The fate of them is unknown. good luck, Jonathan. Well,
You just want to say good luck.
I did. I really did. And I do wish him all the luck in the world. I really do. He needs it. Good luck,
Jonathan.
Good luck, John. But these ass wipes. Where was the rest of it? Here was one of them. My phone rang. I have some bad news. This Nigerian government administrator, Lawal Bana, received a call on the night of April 14th, the day before, tipping him off to some bad news. My phone rang. I was told there was going to be an attack. I was told that heavily armed militants in trucks and motorcycles were heading toward my town. He ordered the local garrison to confront the attackers and sent out word to civilians seek safety elsewhere. But these guys I guess are really well trained and big and overpowered. These guys, they ran out of ammo and that was all she wrote.
This group is against westernized education, right? That's the
Boko Haram.
Yeah, that's their whole deal. Is they don't want people to have Western educations, and so they had attacked a boys' school a month before, killed a bunch of them, burned them alive.
The name Boko Haram means Western education.
I knew that. Yeah.
I know you do.
Just for the listeners.
Yeah. So this girl tells a little bit more. She says that attacks by Boko Haram had led to the closure of all the schools in the area because parents wanted their girls to graduate. The one school was open so that girls from several schools could take their final exams. Okay, so they've shut down everything, totally worried about this stuff. The militants came dressed like our normal soldiers, saying they were rescuing the girls from an attack. We have reports that Boko Haram extremists are about to strike here. They told us before loading the girls onto trucks and buses. Gumbu listened to the commands from the men and hesitated. A little voice inside told her not to trust them. I ran towards a latrine and hid. Then I climbed a tree and clung to a branch while I watched my friends gather outside. The men headed towards the storeroom. They removed all the food and set fire to the building. This is when I knew they were Boko Haram, not soldiers as they claimed. I prayed. I could see I could see a few of my friends escaping a nearby bush. The men started shouting, Allah Akbar, always. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. God is great, as they loaded the students onto trucks and drove through the village. When they were gone, she got down out of the tree and met up with these other girls. For weeks, it was unclear who had taken them, but suspicions were there, with Boko Haram. But yeah, amazing, man, hearing this girl talk about, getting a feeling like that and going with it. Can you imagine making that decision? You know how tense the area is to begin with, right? And some guys come in dressed like your military going, Boko Haram's coming, we're here to save you. And you get a hunch that they're full of shit.
Yeah, it's balls.
That's totally balls, dude. But I don't know. You think they'll find them? Or you think it's going to be?
Yeah, I think they'll find them.
Yeah, sooner or later. What are they going to find first? The Malaysian plane or these girls? You think so?
Yeah. I think it's in the works.
Are they all okay?
No, I think.
I mean, obviously some of them are going to be mentally fucked, but are they all alive?
No, I don't think they're probably all in one group. That's just my guess. I think they've been spread around a little bit, maybe some sold off like they said they were going to do. But I think we get a good chunk of them, and I think we get the leadership of this Boko Haram.
Now, why can't you take someone in and find that motherfucker and just blow his head off? I mean, I would think that's the mission. You go in, you send some of the military's finest, go in and just whack that dude.
Yeah, I got hooked on these CIA novels a couple of years ago. These Vince Flynn books,
Yeah,
the hero guy. This is exactly the type of stuff that he would deal with. He'd be called in.
The guy.
What would he do?
Obama.
Yeah. Boko Haram.
No. I was thinking of what's his name? Not Hussein, but Osama bin Laden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the guys. What was it? The SEAL Team.
SEAL Team 6.
Is that the kind of stuff you're talking about?
Guy, so a little different, but it just gets you imagining. When you just imagine our special ops guys like, oh, we got it.
They're bad.
Yeah, for sure.
They're bad dudes. Those are the guys I want coming to find me.
Yep.
That's for damn sure. Well, I know they've got guys there giving it their all. So I feel confident, like you do, that with the involvement of our boys, they'll definitely find them at some point. Hopefully they're okay. But good luck, Jonathan. Hang in there, buddy. I know the press is looking at you, man. I got faith in you. Hang in there, brother. And on that note, let's call it a day for a Tuesday, and we'll pick it up on Wednesday with a brand new edition of the Detroit Cast tomorrow. And in the meantime, thank you all so much for listening. We all really appreciate it. And don't be afraid of the donate button. Go buy some merch if you want.
If you like it, tell your friends.
Please.
Spread the word.
Yeah, definitely spread the word. And it'll be posted 5 a.m. every morning, Monday through Friday. So hope you enjoy it. Feel free to send us an email with anything you want, things you want us to talk about, stories, comments, questions, whatever. The DetroitCast@gmail.com. And we'll see you first thing tomorrow. Take care.
Good luck.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, shit.
I can't believe she said answered that stuff, I guess. But maybe since he wasn't dead.
Yeah, but still,
he's a person. He has.
And you always want to paint your property in the best light.
That's a good point,
you'd say, it's just, we received that, complaint and looked at it.
Being taken care of.
You never, we got a depressed guy laying there drunk, and doesn't that give you a different view of a hotel than a Four Seasons?
Wait, what's that?
Well, we were just surprised that she commented on the dude's, Like, what kind of place was this, Eric? Like,
no, it's not a bad hotel, though. I mean, it really isn't like, Jordan said, it's not like a Motel 6. I mean, it has a nice indoor pool, hot tub. It's got a nice lounge and a restaurant. I mean,
kind of